finished. And that brings an end to another game. What happens if you continue? Do you continue? There's no new game plus in this, is it? I guess you continue before your last save point. Reach the meeting house. Oh yeah, we're still here. Okay. Alright, so it just goes back here. Alright. It's still at the final mission. Okay. Well, that was interesting. All in all, I think they've crafted a really nice universe here. Nice world. Filled with ghosts, different types of ghosts. The lore behind each of the ghosts. And the whole Banishers. You're right. It's like another world of like monsters and witches, right? It's something like that. Because like if any of you have played Vampire, their previous game, which is quite a very nicely crafted world of vampires, right? A very nice world, like a very dark, beautiful world. So it's a little bit like that, but I would say the tone of the game is not too dark or serious as Vampire. So it is a little bit lighter than that. I guess it's a little bit more easygoing for folks, for those who like those kind of things, like not too dark, not too serious. Vampires are a little bit more serious. This one has a little bit more lighter, I guess, tone to it. But overall, I enjoyed the lore and the story, and I like the dynamic of the husband, not the husband and wife, but the two partners, one dead, one alive. I kind of like that aspect. However, I think this game needs a little bit more love. That's all. A little bit more time to bake in the oven. Gameplay wise, yeah, gameplay was the haunting cases were fine. The exploration, like the side stuff to do, like the chest hunting, treasure hunting, yeah, that's all fine. These find those kind of things in a lot of games, but I think a lot of the world is quite empty. I would say they need to fill it up a little bit. I think it's the way the map is designed and stuff like that, because a lot of times you find yourself just running around mostly rather than fighting. You have like few concentrated pockets of specters around the map, and then mostly it's not even much. It's a lot of trekking, just a lot of running, and a lot of times like I find that boring. I found myself like yawning and bored a little bit, because I'm just running from point A to point B non-stop. But you come across those kind of scenarios if you're trying to like explore. So exploring was a bit of a pain in this game, but if you focus heavily on the main story, I think then you would be fine. But when exploration is also an option, so I expect that to be interesting as well. For example, like in games like even in Vampire, Witcher, every game that offers exploration, there's always a sense of discovery. This did not have that. I think that's the key thing. There was no sense of discovery. Like when you go into a new region, you don't feel like, oh shit, I discovered an entire new region. You're like, oh shit, here's just another extension to the map I'm already in, which is already a pain to explore and already boring, and I'm stuck exploring a little bit more. So that's what it felt like. So yeah, discovery was not as rewarding as it should have been felt. The main story was good. The main haunting case was good. There was a purpose. It was purposefully driven as well. The dialogue the scripting was fine. Like I didn't find too issues. A lot of the haunting cases were kind of like, I would say, the side haunting cases were catered towards social injustices, trying to target certain social injustices, agendas, sort of things that you find in modern days, which is okay. But I think you don't need to heavily focus in it. Like just have it. Just make it a normal story. You don't need to like overly focus, like, because the dynamic of the two characters drastically change from time to time depending on the haunting case, right? Because like they would be friendly at one point and all of a sudden they would just attack each other depending on whatever the social injustice they were talking about. I felt like that was a bit weird. It came out of nowhere. It felt forced. So I think those kind of things can be avoided, but it's not too. It's all right. Like I'm not. It just felt. It's just that it made the dynamic of the two characters feel a bit uneasy, because she became really bossy all of a sudden, and he became very demeaning, like very, like she became very authoritative, and he became very submissive, like at times, and it didn't feel like a proper partnership between the two. So the dynamic between the two characters kind of like made became a little bit uneasy. Combat system was, I think the combat system was okay. The skill tree was fine. It was simple. It had purpose, and it was straight to the point. Nothing too complex. And I mean, this game is made for people who like story-driven content, right? So it's not a problem. So very hard is the hardest difficulty you can play it in, and that's the one. So that's the only one you get a challenging experience. So you can play a story where it focuses on narrative, so you'll just easily just cheese through the game and just experience the story. But I think if it's that, but in that case, like, you won't exactly get your money's worth of the game. Like you won't get a proper. You won't spend too much time playing the game then. And this game was $40 when I got it. I would say that's also another issue. I don't think this was a $40 game. This is more like a $20 game, I would say. But yeah. So I don't think we'll be getting a Banishers 2. Looking at the track record of Don't Not and the previous games they've made, stuff like this, and it doesn't look like it has room for a sequel, which is a bit of a shame, because the worlds they create are quite interesting, and I would like to explore more, especially the vampire one. But it's fine. I like the ending. I like the ending it gives to the characters and the chapters it closes. It's fine if they don't want to continue with it. So yeah. So there you guys go. There you have it. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, done and dusted on very hard difficulty.